This is Soul Collector's full-size run with Rich Mays Lopez and Brendan Dunne. Hashtag get rich or done trying. Shout out to Steph Curry. I do have them. I will remind everyone while we're here on camera.
Let us know.
From the beginning, I did say Golden State.
Okay.
Right? I was not expecting this.
Golden State and how many?
At this point, I'm going to say
five.
I'm going to say 5. I think the Cavs get
steal one.
The Cavs they get one at home. Then the Warriors steal one in Cleveland and come back and wrap it up in the Bay.
All right. We have Justin G in the comments saying, you know, this is a good shoe, but will it get Under Armour out of their funk? Under Armour, you know, not been super hot in the past year or so. Especially
with their comments. Especially with Kevin Plank's comments.
He
which Curry himself has come out and kind of disagreed with his own CEO, with the man who signs his endorsement checks.
Right.
I think that's a very important and necessary step forward. Whether or not it gets them out of, you know, the doldrums that they're currently in remains to be seen, but it's a good ass sneaker. Period. Shout out to Under Armour.
Well, let's talk about some more endorsements. Travis Scott and Nike. Basically, he's kind of pledged his allegiance, I guess, by going on Instagram over the weekend and posting this clip on Instagram story saying that he's a Nike boy. He's saying, you ain't Nike boys. You guys are still wearing 3 stripes and things like that. Kind of, you know, Travis Scott, as far as I could tell, just recently began this relationship with Nike. He was a spokesperson for the Day to Night Vapor Max pack. They had some press around that. And he's really committing to it, I guess.
Yeah. There's just so many, I don't want to say problems, but this is something that we've come across many times in our line of work, is celebrities, like you said, pledging allegiance to a certain brand who have a history of doing the complete opposite, right? And I don't mind, and I'm more power to you if you want to pledge allegiance to a brand because you're getting a check, because I'll do the same damn thing. You give me a check and I'm all yours.
You hear that, Nike?
Especially Nike. But what I'm trying to say is, Travis wore Vans on the rodeo cover, right? They even, when they mocked up his action figure that's on the rodeo cover, he explicitly asked for Vans on him. Was at an event, performing at an event that Brendan was at in Houston for James Harden for Adidas.
Exactly, and that's where he debuted that the Wayback video. If you look at the Wayback video, it's basically an Adidas ad. There's James Harden's all over it.
Yeah.
You know, they had the new signature shoe in there, the Harden Volume 1. He's wearing all the Adidas gear.
He's wearing Yeezys at the 750s at the event.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the person, you know, getting paid by one brand and you know, wearing sneakers from another brand or anything like that. But just this idea that you have to pretend on social media like you never were into Adidas or you never were associated with Adidas. I mean, the receipts are there.
Exactly. It's hard in 2017 to do that, especially for a figure. First of all, I love Travis Scott's music, and I think Travis Scott is an amazing artist, an amazing performer. His style is dope too, so there's absolutely no shots at Travis. But it's hard in 2017 to front because, like Brendan said, the receipts are there, fams. Like, your cover, you're rocking Vans, and if you go through your whole IG, it's every other sneaker in the world as well. He's always been rocking J's too. He's rocked 4s and Shattered Backboard 1s and so on and so forth. So I'm not questioning his Nike stock, but like you said, like drawing that line in the sand and being like, yo, I'm a Nike boy, you ain't a Nike boy, and then y'all still rocking 3 stripes. Your man Kanye is the man at 3 stripes. So like, I agree.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. I agree with you, Brendan. Like, if you're getting a check, you know, you should put that brand forward, but drawing that line in the sand is just kind of tough in 2017.
Yeah.
Speaking about drawing lines or drawing lines out, even literally, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Champions League last week with Real Madrid. Nike, after he won the Champions League, Nike put an ad out with the idea that no one really bet on Ronaldo when he was younger, but he knew that he was going to become something special. And they used a picture of a very young Ronaldo behind a goal net, behind a net. The original picture had Ronaldo rocking an Adidas EQT, Adidas Performance sweatshirt on. In the ad that Nike put out, they dropped a swoosh flagrantly on his chest, and in effect buffing out the Adidas logo. So the controversy is, did Nike know what they were doing when they buffed out the Adidas 3 stripes logo in favor of a swoosh? Brendan, is this, in your opinion, obviously, because you can't answer it, was this purposeful?
I kind of doubt it. I mean, I
Okay.
think it's a really cool photo of him regardless.
It's a great photo.
So, you know, it was just a photo of him as a kid. And look, Nike wasn't really big in the soccer scene,
Till very recently.
you know, yeah, until very recently, and
Yeah.
especially not when he was a child. So the odds are pretty good that he would have been wearing something from a brand other than Nike.
Or definitely Adidas, because they've been huge in soccer. Forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had the OG, you know, Adidas EQT
Fire, by
crew
the
neck
way.
on, the
Yeah.
green one. That nice piece. But I mean, I still think Nike could have avoided this, you know, and picked
definitely.
a different photo. Just he immediately got called out for it.
Yeah.
Him and Nike, you know, people were all over it immediately, and that's kind of going back to the Travis Scott thing. It's like
Yep.
there are receipts, there is evidence of all this stuff, and if you're gonna market things on the internet in this way, you have to expect people to figure out the origins.
At the very least, I agree with you. Nike probably could have avoided this, but also at the very least, it's really good for retweet. Right? It's really good to get on full size run with this. Like we're talking about it almost a week after they won the Champions League, I believe Saturday. We're almost a week after, and we're still talking about it. Forever until we're long and gone, Brendan, the Adidas versus Nike competition will always be good for headlines. It'll always be there. It's very healthy for
Absolutely.
the market. And now that Adidas, maybe 5 years ago, no one really would have cared about this because everyone was kicking sand in Adidas' face 5 years ago. But now that Adidas is the man on the block right now, it's even more of a headline grabber and even more to talk about.
Just a hilarious moment all around, I think.
It was hilarious. It kind of, I don't want to say it tarnished. It took away attention from his chip, but it was, at least in my opinion, it was, like you said, it was hilarious.
I feel bad for whoever came up with the ad, but
You think they got their hand slapped for it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Speaking of Yeezys.
Yeah, let's go back to the Yeezy conversation because that seems to be what we're almost always talking about.
Yes.
The Adidas Yeezy Power Phase with the Calabasas script across it, those re-released this weekend, re-release, restock, whatever you want to call it. And the prices really, really tanked.
Resale prices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the shoe, obviously the cheapest Yeezy shoe to date, $120 at retail, but when they first came out, they only released on Kanye West's Yeezy Supply website, and because of that, they were impossible to get. You know, even more so than
So hard to cop off that site.
Yeah, than an average pair because they don't do any of the stuff that the brands do to try and like gate bots out. But anyways, that's another conversation. The sneakers originally were selling for $900, $1,000 here and there. And boy, after this weekend, they really the prices really fell off a cliff. We talked to some guys at StockX. You know, they're seeing pairs sell for $215, $250. You know, I see some sellers on Instagram trying to get $300.
Okay.
You know, it's just
Is that the ceiling now, $300?
I mean, I'm not in that space enough to know if it's the ceiling, but that seems like it.
The highest you've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of unprecedented that we've seen the prices on a shoe fall this much, and especially the prices for a Yeezy be this low.
Yeah, and so quick. We've been speaking about this all week. Were you able to secure a pair?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I walked right into a pair, so I could see how it would affect resale prices. I was literally sitting down, I was eating, saw a link on Twitter on my phone, clicked it, and I checked out with a pair in my size.
On Adidas.com?
On Adidas.com in 30 seconds. That's not good for the resale market, let me tell you. Because if I can just waltz into a pair, then that's not good for the resale market. But going from 900 to 250 in a day?
It's crazy.
That's insanity to me, especially for anything that's Yeezy related. I'm not in the space like you said, or neither are you, but that's a $700 price drop in a day seems crazy. And even according to Yeezy Mafia, they were saying pairs were still limited, 10,000, 12,000. That's not a lot of pairs. 10,000 pairs of sneakers is nothing when Jordan Brand is dropping 500,000 pairs of 11s on December 23rd. So it's unheard of. What do you think, Brendan, this says about the overall, or doesn't say anything about the overall Yeezy resale market?
I don't think it's necessarily reflective of the overall market. I mean, I think this shoe is kind of an outlier as far as the Yeezy stuff. Yeah, because it's not a Yeezy Boost. You know, it's a retro.
Yeah.
And I think the other important thing to know is that we're right after the restock in this period. And, you know, these prices will creep back up in a little bit. I spoke to Yu Ming Wu, who's the CMO over at Stadium Goods, popular consignment store. And he was saying, you know, that he's anticipating the prices going back up and that, you know, usually 9 months after a sneaker's release, it'll kind of start climbing.
Yeah, we're talking
again,
about the resale market like it was Wall Street.
I mean,
right?
That's where we are in 2017.
It's too much. Before we get into our next segment, we do have a guest coming on later, so stay tuned for that. It is the young sneaker lord, Litty Sneaks, is in the building. we should ask him his
Yeah.
opinion on
We
these,
want
on these
his takes.
topics. We don't operate in the resale market like that because we don't have to, basically. But anyway, best and worst things that you saw on the internet, or the best thing that you saw on the internet this week, Brendan Dunne.
I gotta say, our colleague Joe LaPuma,
Yes.
his latest sneaker shopping episode
Absolute fire flames.
with the Ball family. This
Fire.
thing, I mean, you could say what you want about LeVar Ball, but this guy is so entertaining. And I've seen this episode about 20 times because we go through the edits, but I still enjoyed it so much. Like, just the wild claims he makes on there. You know, he's talking about how you can play ball in the slides.
Yes.
He basically admits he goes, a shoe is nothing but leather and glue.
Yeah.
And here he is trying to peddle pairs of his son's signature sneaker for $495.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just chaos, and I loved it.
Yeah, I do want to say, I just looked it up to date, and they launched it on Monday. It's now Wednesday, only 2 days after. It has 2.6 million views on YouTube, right? And there are so many people on Twitter or on any social media that want to discredit LeVar Ball for, you know, what he says or what he's doing. And I understand that to a certain extent, but the man is a PR genius, okay, period. You know, I think because we've seen things like this before, or maybe we're jaded to it, we kind of can, or I can personally kind of cut through what he's saying and cut through the BS and understand that he is a guru. Like, he's on ESPN, he's on Sneaker
He's
Shopping,
everywhere, man.
he's on Fox Sports, he's on this show, he's on that show, and
Hopefully he's on Full Size Run soon.
Yo,
We would love to have
LeVar
him.
Ball, if you're watching, we would love to have you on Full Size Run. I think I said this on episode 1, and nothing has
We will
changed.
repeat that every episode until it
Yes,
happens.
until you come on, I want to be in your pocket. I'm gonna be calling your cell phone. Please give me his number. So, the man pulls in numbers: 2.6 million on Sneaker Shopping, which is just looking one of the most popular episodes all time, or at least recently. What I liked about this episode most, Brendan, and you've been involved in this episode for longer than I have. I watched it after the fact. You were in the cuts. Is how authentic LeVar Ball was to the scenario, in that it was a lot less him talking to like ESPN anchors or Fox Sports News anchors. It was like talking to Joe, his homie, and they were all, you know, sneaker shopping. It was a lot more like organic and authentic. And I felt like even though he was saying some outlandish things, he was
some outlandish things.
Yeah, he was a little
said
bit
few
more
outlandish things.
rooted and explained his vantage point in a way that he probably hasn't so far, saying that like it's $495, you know, because it's my one signature sneaker and my son designed it, which is something that I tried to explain on Full Size Run a while back. And he also doubled down.
His son said that he designed it, and
3-4
Alonzo
hours.
designed the whole thing in 3 to 4
Yeah.
hours, which is absurd to admit that.
And the other thing is,
that much time.
But at the same time, it's like at least he was a little bit more. He did say outlandish things, but I found that he was a little bit more. I found that he was a little bit more humble.
Okay.
A little bit more explanatory, and still hilarious. Still a genius, man. I still love LeVar Ball. He did double down on the whole, like, if you can't afford my stuff, you're not a big baller, which at this point, fams, I don't know if anyone's copying it now. But, you know, I do love the man, and we do want you on Full Size Run ASAP.
Rich, tell me about the worst thing we saw in sneakers this week.
The absolute worst thing that I've seen in sneakers this week, and possibly in my lifetime.
In some time, at least. In
Yes.
quite some time.
Is Walmart's light up Yeezys that the national chain, I believe we have the numbers here, yes. The national chain is claiming that they will sell at least $25 million worth of the most blatantly fugazi, embarrassing Yeezy that I've ever seen in my entire life. It has a bootleg tubular X Yeezy upper thing, and
It's just bad. It's just bad.
and a
on all
full
accounts.
length light up boost sole. And they're saying they're gonna sell 25 million pairs of these sneakers.
Well, basically, they're going to sell 25 million pairs of the
25
flashlight, the light-up sneakers in
Okay.
general, because that's such a huge trend with the kids right
Gotcha.
now.
Okay.
This awful pair, this abomination, being one of the many models that I guess they're peddling to
Gotcha.
the youth of today.
Gotcha. The retail is $19.97, and that means, according to the notes I have here, that they would have to sell 1.25 million pairs of these light up joints to get to $25 million in gross.
I think we're both just hoping that we don't enter a future where these things are more
the thing.
More out there, because we hope to never see sneakers like this in our everyday lives.
Listen, I don't want to make fun of anyone at all, because everyone has different means and income levels and so on and so forth. But for $19.97, you do not have to cop a light up Yeezy. You can go into Payless and get something a lot less flagrant than this. But Brendan, I just want to know, where are these 1.25 million people that are going to buy this light up Yeezy?
Man, a lot of people shop at Walmart. A lot of people shop at Walmart.
So you're getting like your Capri Sun and your grapes and then
a garden rake,
a lawnmower.
Yeah.
You're gonna go cop yourself some light up Yeezys and just outfit the whole fam in light up Yeezys?
I guess so.
Okay. Listen, you know what? I think we should cop light up Yeezys for the culture. And then,
we might have to get a pair.
And then bring them on full-size runs so you guys can see what a Walmart light-up Yeezy looks like.
As much as it would pay me to contribute to that $25 million.
I really, really want to know. But speaking of Yeezys and speaking of reselling, Brendan, we have a young sneaker lord in the building.
We do have Litty Sneaks. Mitchell, come on down.
Talk to the people over here. We're moving to the right. My man, thank you first and foremost for joining us today.
No problem.
Taking out your time on a Wednesday afternoon to join us. So I want to first talk about how we got you here. So I'm on Twitter, and someone posted a link to the story that you were featured in, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be dead serious with you. I usually never click on these things because I always find when non-sneaker media does like sneaker things, it always comes out like corny and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they don't have a real informed perspective.
Exactly, and they end up putting the person that they're interviewing in like this corny space where they're like not, being themselves and they want to like talk to. But when I read your interview, I thought it was so dope and so genius because you kept it like real G. Like you gave him answers. My favorite thing is when he asked you if you were going to summer camp and you told him like, yo fams, do you know how much money I would be losing if I went to summer camp? That to me was genius. So that's how we got you here. But for the people who are not familiar with you, let us know who Mitchell, aka Litty Sneaks, is.
Well, I'm Mitchell Sozio, so I'm a reseller, and I basically am the plug.
Okay.
So I do exclusive clients or bulk orders from people.
Okay.
So yeah, and also reselling stores. So.
And you're based here in New York City?
Yeah, I live in New York too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they touched on it a little bit in the article for people who didn't read the article. How old are you? 13. 13 years old.
Yeah.
When I was 13 years old, I was in summer camp.
Missing out on money.
You know what? If I knew what I knew now, I probably would be reselling sneakers at 13. So let me ask you, at 13 years old, you're from here, you're from the island, right? From Long Island?
No, city.
Oh, you're from the city? Okay, cool. I thought you were from the island for some reason.
I'm house there.
So you're from the city, 13 years old. How did you even get into reselling sneakers at such a young age?
Well, I've always been into sneakers, but it was since beginning of 6th grade that I started seeing like being influenced by Kanye West and his style, and then I started seeing like Travis Scott, and then I said, like, this is pretty cool. So then I started.
Was Travis wearing Yeezys at the time?
I don't know. Yeah, I think he probably was.
He's not a
probably
Nike
the original
boy.
one.
He's not a Nike boy.
Yo, geez. Yeah. So then I started doing that, and then I started buying the latest Yeezys that when they first dropped.
For yourself?
For myself.
Okay.
So I got one pair, and then I was like, these are really cool. I started matching it.
Okay.
Heard of like Vlone, Supreme, Bape, So then I started just doing it as a passion, and then right now I'm just
copying for yourself.
Copying for myself.
So when did you make that transition from copying for yourself to now flipping?
Well, I realized I had all these connections, and I was like, I can make all this money, and then instead of getting one pair, I could just get 8 pairs and then flip it.
How does he have better plugs than I do?
We need to figure that out.
I'm like,
I
don't even want to talk about
I can
how
be
many
your
times
plug.
his age, right?
Right.
My man is a business guru who just told me that he could be my plug.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Give you my number.
Please, after the show. So my question, so you were, getting back to what you were saying, you were copying for yourself, you realized you had plugs.
Yeah.
And then, so then how did you transition from copying one pair or I'm assuming you're copying one pair for yourself, to copying multiple pairs for clients? How did that happen?
It just became a thought process, and then when I started looking at my collection, I was like, you know, and then all my friends started wanting the shoes, and then I was like, you know, I can just sell it to them. So I just started getting multiple pairs, and then I found people who wanted to buy it.
So you were able to get multiple pairs of sneakers that I can get one of.
Are you mostly selling to your friends? Is it mostly people your age?
Yeah, it's basically people like celebrities, clients, anyone who's really looking for like people who can get the shoes the day they drop. So
how do you get your word out there? How do you promote yours besides being on Full Size Run and getting the articles written about you? How does one promote a business?
Yeah, well, right now it's just like word in New York City, just like floating around, and then people just are starting to hear like Litty Sneaks, and then yeah, I'm just telling everyone about it, and then I'm gonna promote it. Yeah.
That's really dope.
How many sneakers do you own personally? Because I know you mentioned your collection. Like,
yeah.
What are you at right now?
It says 65, but right now I'm probably upwards of 100 right now.
Okay, definitely a lot more than I had when I was 13.
Let's not go back to what I had. Listen, I'm trying to figure out. I think I got my first real pair of sneakers when I was 13. And before that, I was probably rocking some light up joints, to be honest with you. But you have 100 pairs of sneakers at 13.
Yeah.
And you're flipping sneakers at 13.
Yep.
That's crazy. So in order to get the upfront for the sneakers to bring in, are you funding your own operation, or is it crowd-funded, or how does that work?
Well, how it starts is that when I started reselling, I started getting help, you know, with my mom and things.
Okay.
And then after that, it just actually after the first Yeezy release, I had enough money to fund myself ever since then.
Really?
So you took that money from reselling the first one,
and then it just keeps adding up.
Bought more and more.
And he's
that.
yelling, "Rio, please lock like Mamiya." Okay. So now, so your parents support your business endeavors?
Well, yeah, they support. They like what I'm doing, but they like the independence, so I'm doing all of it by myself and stuff like that. So.
Did it freak them out though when you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna go spend thousands of dollars on shoes on a regular basis"?
It didn't start like that. The first pair of Yeezys I got was retail. So then from there it just.
And you flipped those?
And I flipped those, and then well, I got it from multiple pairs, and it just. Worked.
So are you getting multiple pairs from different locations, or are you getting multiple pairs from one location? You don't have to give up the plug. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Before it was different locations.
Okay.
But I can tell you, a month later, I have my own plug right now. So
you're good.
Yeah, so I'm covered.
Are you copying at resale, or are you copying at retail?
Retail.
You're copying everything at retail.
Yeah.
I want to run over again your nanny's role in the operation. I heard that she has a helping hand in this business.
Yeah, I mean, she's lived with me and grown me up like since I was born. So like, she's always there like to do favors. So she helps me ship my shoes out.
Favors.
It's a favor. I mean, I do like I box the shoes, but you know she helps to ship out. So.
This is crazy. Your nanny's in the operation too. This is a young mogul here. I saw a picture of you on your Instagram with Benjamin Kicks, who sat on a Complex Conversations panel at ComplexCon last year and has become known as the young sneaker mogul himself, reselling mogul himself. So how do you know him? How did you get connected, and what's your relationship like?
Well, I met him at his pop-up in New York.
Oh, okay.
And then ever since then, I started talking to him, and then, yeah, so I got a little know about him, and then I, you know, seeing what he's doing, so I think it's good.
Does he give you any tips, or are you guys competition, or how does that work?
I don't know where we are right now.
Okay, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who would you say, you don't have to give any names if you don't want to, but like how, you mentioned celebrities and so on and so forth, but how like high level does your client base go? Like what level celebrity or ball player or whatever have you, does your client base go?
I can't really reveal who they are right now, but A-list celebrities.
A-list celebrities.
Multi-million
And what are they looking for? Multi-million followers?
Yeah.
And what are they looking for?
They're looking for the, you know, latest kicks, and they want it. I don't charge, you know, like rate prices.
Okay.
Like, I just do like what I think fits well for them. So yeah.
Yeezys, Jordans, what are they mostly into?
Yeezys.
It's all Yeezys.
And Jordans, like Don C's, and then you know, Breads, you know. So,
Tell me, were you sitting on a bunch of pairs of the Power Phases, and how did that go?
Yes, that was good. I got it original, and then the restock, it just,
Okay.
So how does it, so from a reselling standpoint, from a business standpoint like you, we talked about like prices coming down.
Yeah.
How does that affect your business? Do you...
Are you worried about the Power Phase prices?
No, because when you get multiple pairs, then you just sell it, and then it'll just add up. I mean, it's fine. I mean, when I originally got it, I made a lot of money from Power Phases.
From the first drop?
From the first drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were able to cop from the first drop?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now I just have probably double or triple what I had before.
In money?
in money. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not even phased by it, man. We're in the wrong damn business.
Were you buying those right off the Easy Supply website? Are we talking bots? Like, what's the?
No, I don't use bots.
Okay,
No.
all manual.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so a 13-year-old sneaker collector in 2017, what does like this whole sneaker thing or sneaker culture like mean to you? I know you were influenced by Kanye West and Travis Scott, started copying Bape. You have, oh, I thought that was it's actually
That's
Liddy's.
my own.
I'll take one of those. Size L. So what does the sneaker culture thing mean to you? Like what is in your perspective, what does that mean to you?
It just means like hip hop and like
Okay.
rap, and then just like street brands and streetwear.
Okay.
And then it just means the whole culture. And then when I started getting into it, I started liking it, and then now I think I'm pretty a part of it. So.
And it was like just looking fresh.
It was looking fresh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to know, does a young person like yourself come to that through being in New York and kind of seeing that scene here, or is it more through the internet?
I'd say it's in New York because
Yeah.
I always go downtown and like I see sneaker stores and then streetwear brands, and then it's just an influence.
So you were kind of paying attention to all that?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
What's your favorite sneaker store in New York?
I'd say either Flight Club or Stadium Goods.
Yeah.
Because
like
they cash the
Stadium
checks.
And FICO got the direct deposit now.
Yeah.
We have a picture of your collection here in the back, and very, very, very impressive. Donce's, 750 Yeezys, 350 Yeezys. All of this, you've amassed all these sneakers in how long? Like how long have you been collecting?
Less than a year.
Less than a year?
Less than a year, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super impressive, man. I'm
all those
more
boxes are full.
All those boxes what? Oh,
Are
they
full.
have sneakers in them.
Yep.
I'm just impressed, dude. Like you said, like at 13 years old, I think I just got my first real pair of sneakers. I definitely was in summer camp hooping, not looking to resell sneakers. I don't even know what I could have resold them, like Tamagotchis or something, but
That might have been it.
amazing, amazing. Do you have any questions for Litty Sneaks, B. Diddy?
Let's check
people?
the comments real quick. We have Craig Clayton asking, what sneakers are the easiest to flip for the most money? What's kind of the
Great
best?
question.
I'd say Jordans right now.
Yeah.
Jordans, really?
Yeah, any of the remastered, like Royals or Breads.
Yeah.
I recently got the Space Jams, the the Barons, and then those two. Like the 11s are also easy to flip right now. So.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so people are still in 11s. I've been, as Yeezy has risen, you know, Jordan has kind of fallen back a little bit, but there's always be a Jordan market, I guess.
I guess so.
No matter what.
Yeah.
But certainly the margins on that stuff quite a bit smaller, right? You make a lot less money on the...
Still, I don't think Yeezy jumped over Jumpman, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Brennan, our lightning round of questions. So every time we have a guest, we like to ask them lightning questions.
Okay.
Just short answers, not too much thinking. First thing that comes to your mind. I want the people to know your real thoughts on these things.
Okay.
You ready? First question, Adidas or Nike?
Adidas.
Most you've ever paid for a pair of sneakers?
500.
What is your grail sneaker?
Yeezy 750 gray.
Okay. Most you've ever sold a pair for?
3,000.
Michael Jordan or Kanye West?
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Of
Even
course.
though Yeezy
He's
didn't jump
13
over.
years old. He's 13 years old.
I watch basketball.
I'm personally offended right now. You even though you don't think Yeezy jumped over the jump man, you still say Kanye over MJ.
Yeah, I would.
Damn, that's crazy. This is really 2017. Before we get out of here, Litty Sneaks, just talk to the people. Where can they find you first and foremost?
My website, and also I'm selling merch right now.
And what's the website?
LittySneaks.com.
And the merch is available?
In a white colorway.
Okay, and Instagram?
And Instagram. Those are my two mains.
Litty Sneaks.
Litty Sneaks, yeah.
And Twitter?
Litty Sneaks.
Litty Sneaks. So it's Litty Sneaks on everything. If you're
All
looking
over.
for a new plug, do you do business outside of New York, or is it mostly hand-to-hand in New York? Will you
I
ship
do
stuff
outside
out?
too. I ship
Okay.
wherever.
So wherever the money is. So if you're looking to cop some sneakers from a young mogul lord in the sneaker game, Litty Sneaks is your man. Litty Sneaks at everything. Before we get out of here, Litty, just stay here. We have, maybe you can give us your opinion, the release roundup, the sneakers that you need to be looking for this weekend. 6'8", the Adidas by Parlay pack. Brendan, your feelings on that pack?
You know, we discussed this briefly in the office. I think this is kind of the best parlay stuff they've done yet
Fully
outside
agreed.
of that first prototype pair. The white colorways, I think, really look good.
Litty Sneaks,
I get. Yeah.
you get copped.
My dad even wants them.
Does Dad get them for retail, or are you reselling to him
Oh, of
too?
course not. I resell to him.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm my dad's plug.
All money is green money. It don't matter who's paying. 6'8", Nike Lab Zoom Fly SP, which is kind of a takedown of the Zoom Vaporfly Elite, a sneaker that Brendan knows very well. He was actually in Italy for the Breaking 2 campaign.
Right.
Was that dope? Because watching it, I thought it was dope.
Yeah, the actual event was pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of this shoe.
Yes, you've mentioned that.
The 4% is the one to get out of this pack.
This is
I would say
fool's
I'm not big on the Zoom Fly.
Not big on it. 6'9", the Nike Air Foamposite Pro is dropping with a fleece upper, which I cannot stand at all.
Awful. Mitchell, your
Pass.
opinion?
Pass.
Yes.
Calling out a pass.
J-Kid pass. White chocolate pass.
No one's paying over retail
Steph
for
Curry
these.
No,
pass.
definitely.
Garbage sneaker. 6'10", Porter and Adidas are linking up for a collection that I think is dope. This NMDCS one I could do without, but the bags, I love myself a good bag as much as I love myself a good pair of sneakers, are really dope. So that's 6'10".
Are we reselling these?
Are these flipping?
I would, yeah. I'm flipping those.
These are flipping. Okay.
Okay.
6'10", 2 J's are coming out. The Linen 4s in GS exclusive and the Chutney Jordan 13 lows. I don't think these are going to flip. Liddy, what do you think?
Nah, I don't think they're resale.
Not good.
Staying away from those.
You can cop them if you want to cop them, but
No hype.
no hype, right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the Aggie Mat Nike LeBron 14, which is a tribute to LeBron's trip to the Philippines. Shout out to everyone. We have a very strong contingent in the Philippines, so shout out to all of our Filipino watchers. This is inspired by his trip to the Philippines. It has several nods back to his trip and to Filipino culture. Brendan, we didn't put it in the script this week, but we'll talk about it. Your copper drop. We have the Parlay Pack, Zoom Fly SP, the foams. What's your cop of the week?
I mean, I guess the Parlay Pack.
The Parlay is what we're copping. This is what Litty Thinks is copping too, right?
He says they're flipping.
Of all the stuff that's dropping this week, you think this is probably flipping for the most?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our weekly copper drop.
I'll trust him.
Yeah, we got to trust a young mogul. Our weekly copper drop, we go over the sneakers that are going to have the most positive effect on the resale markets. That's our cop. And then the drop is going to have the most negative effect. The drop to me is the Fleece Foamposite Pro.
Yeah.
Foams
I would stay away from that shoe.
Yeah. Foams had a very strong moment in 2012, 2010 to 2012. In 2017, foams are still selling out, but the resale market is a brick. This sneaker is a brick, hands down, either way, whether you're flipping it or not.
In every way.
Foamposite should have Foamposite uppers. I'm going to say this until I die. Do not put anything else on the Foamposite but Foamposite. Please and thank you. Litty Sneaks, my man.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunne, news editor at SoulCollector.com.
And that was Full Size Run. Until next time, y'all. Peace.